There is that thing such as discrimination towards drummers, let's say.
Well, yeah, I'm okay behind the drum kit, and I started to build my old Legos again.
May I ask you why you made this decision?
That was for me easy peasy. It was so I was like, why not? And let's give it a try because yeah, the Delain was still in my heart actually. So yeah.
Hi everyone, Nika Rocks here, and today I have Sander, the drummer of Delain today. Hi Sander.
Hello, hi.
Hi, welcome. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
You've just come back from the tour. How
Yeah,
did it go?
from the UK. It was very cold. It was yeah. Well, we had the festival shows, and that was really hot. So and then compared to the UK tour, that was very cold. So yeah. So I had several layers on, let's say, but it was very cool. I'd never played in Ireland before, so it was my first time in Dublin and also Belfast as well. Oh, I've never been there, so well, yeah. And for the rest, London, Manchester, yeah, I've been there a couple of times. I always love it there. So
Yeah,
I can
that's
really,
where I saw you for the first time in 2014
oh, you did?
in the
Okay.
Temptation
Ah,
in
yeah,
Manchester.
that was my goodbye tour.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to speak about that too.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's how I discovered Delain actually, because I knew I was going to see Within Temptation, and I knew that you guys were a supporting act, and I wanted to learn more about your music, and I started listening to you. So
Yeah, cool. Nice.
yeah, I was studying in Manchester at the time.
Ah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
but your answer makes me now drink some hot tea.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I will join you with coffee then.
Great.
hmm Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, must be really cold there. Yeah,
Yeah, it was. Now, yeah, it was also windy, and I'm like, the weather there is pretty similar as the weather here in Holland. So I
that's
think
right.
we will do it, no problem. It was a little bit colder there. In the venues, they don't really heat the venues during the day, so I had to build the drum kit with the coat on and so yeah, yeah, and then and do the sound check with uh, like really packed with
Yeah.
two beanies
They,
and
yeah,
stuff.
because from what I can remember, they have a very unique heating routine. Let's put it this way.
Wow, I can imagine because the cost of heating a building is quite high, so I do understand. But yeah, I had to get used to it, let's say. And in the evening during the show, it was all fine. So
Right.
yeah, so
Well, I'm glad to hear that overall it went
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Sander, how did it all start? Why did you take up drums? Let's speak about all
Oh
the.
yeah, phew, I have to get back in time. I think I was 7, 8 years old, something like that. And I saw we had a TV show in Holland called Countdown, and they showed all the hits back then, all the video clips. It was all about music, and as a kid of 6, 7 year old, I always watched that show, and I saw Jeff Porcaro on TV. Toto had a huge hit back then. I think it was "Stop Loving You" or something like that, and I was like, that's what I wanted to do as well. Then I have two older brothers, and they influenced me with with well their music taste. Yeah, yeah, they were more in the pop rock scene, or interested in that, like Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, Toto, and Genesis, and yeah, that kind of music, and I knew that I wanted to do that as well. So yeah, I think 1 or 2 years later, my parents helped me to send me to drumming lessons, and they rent a drum kit for me. So yeah, I think I was 8 or 9 years old, and I had my first drum kit. It was not mine; they rented it first, and I had a great opportunity to to try it all out. Let's say.
I
That's
see.
basically how it started with my home situation with my family. Yeah.
Wow.
It
So
is.
are your brothers musicians too?
Well, my oldest brother is he can play a little bit of keyboard, and he has a studio at home and does something with that. My other brother, he likes just cool music, but he doesn't play an instrument whatsoever. But he has taste.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
my dad plays an instrument, and my mom does not. So that's basically
Okay.
how it
A
is.
semi-musical family.
Well, yeah, I mean, music was important in the family. Music and sports. My other brother is really good in sports, and he yeah, so that's more his cup of tea. Those two things were a fundamental thing in our family. Yeah, I've yeah. If I think back to it, yeah, you have to do your best at school, music, sport, and then it was all fine. Let's say. So yeah.
I see, I see. I've read in one of the interviews that you didn't finish the conservatory.
Hmm.
Can I ask you why?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I went to the conservatory in Groningen. It was 1999, 2000, somewhere there, and that school was about to change. I'm a rocker, rock metal. That's my cup of tea. But the school, with all due respect, they really wanted to go to a direction to teach only jazz
Uh,
stuff. And first of all, I wish I could play it, but I cannot. It's yeah, you have to have a different brain for being a very good jazz drummer. But I like to yeah, like influenced by jazz, and then put it in the rock music, like Porcaro does, and all the great drummers, for a kind or certain feel of groove, let's say. But to go fully jazz, I was like, I will not be happy there. So my drum teacher back then, I talked about this with him, and he was like, yeah, you need to do what you love to play, and that's more the louder music, let's say, and work on your network, and that's what I did. So I did auditions here and there, and I developed my skills as a rock metal drummer, and I was like, yeah, so skip the jazz conservatory. I could have go to Tilburg. They back then they started the rock academy there, but I was not ready to leave my roots. Back then, I was just yeah, the puzzle pieces did not fit really well back then. But somehow, yeah, I made my way through.
wow. What's
Yeah.
amazing about the story is that your teacher didn't insist on staying.
Oh,
Like there are those teachers who try their best to convince their students to stay.
yeah,
They were persuasive, and
yeah,
it was nice to have that teacher who could understand you with all the compassion.
yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I'm also teaching now, and not in music, but something else. And if I see in my class that somebody is really not in his place, his or her place, yeah, but why not talk to the person, and make him or her just more happy in a place where he or she fits. And I totally believe in that philosophy, and my old teacher in the conservatory as well. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So you try to look up to your teacher.
yeah.
Yeah.
I owe him a big thank you for that. So yeah, yeah,
So, well, I can totally relate to this. I'm a teacher too, and
yeah,
I often, well, not often because
yeah,
yeah, because I teach a language, so but
yeah,
I happen to deal with similar situations. Yeah.
yeah. It's
All right. Okay. Then, well, speaking about that tour in 2014, that's exactly when you stepped down from the band.
yeah, yeah. I did. Yeah.
Yeah. May I ask you why you made this decision?
Yeah, well, back then I had two. I still have two kids, but back then they were younger, and I had another job. I'm a technician as well in electronical engineering. To pay the bills, I could not pay the bills from music alone back then, and I had to make choices, and also for my family back then, but my kids and everything together made me decide to quit touring actually, because Delain back then, I remember in 2012 or 13 we did 80 shows per year ish. So somewhere there, 80 plus my full-time job, plus my kids, plus everything. It was not doable anymore. So and then I was I need to make a choice here. So after 8 years, it was not easy to choose, and I talked to Martijn back then about it, and we came to this decision, and we separate ways as friends really, because in the next 8 years I was out. Then Ruben and Joey got in. I did 5 shows as a substitute, but back then I was still involved a little bit for Delain, and I helped where I could, let's say. So and I'm on the DVD at Paradiso as a guest, and I was still connected to the band. I never could let go 100%. It was very difficult to do so. But the main reason was my private situation. It was too much.
Yeah, too much on your plate.
Yeah, and I really wanted to do this with invitation tour with the great venues and a nice opportunity to tour with them again, because in the very beginning we as Delain we did it as well in 2007, if I'm correct. We supported them as well, and I was like, let's, for them, and where it for me started as well. So so I did the tour. It was in April 2014, if I'm correct.
Yes.
And then Ruben got in, and the Delain went to the US for the very first time then, and I stayed at home. And then after they got back from the US, I did 3 or 4 more shows, and that was my real goodbye then in 2014. So. And then it was, I decided to dive into the world of recording, because that I can do at home. So and then in the evening take care of my kids, let's say, and then every now and then, so Secret Rule I did, and Leah and Adrian Benegas from South America I did stuff for, and everything at home recording was. It was perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
I see. And then you returned in 2021, correct?
Yes.
7 years later.
Yeah.
How did it happen?
Yeah. Well, yeah. 7 years passed by. Let's say my kids are way older now, and they can maintain themselves a little bit better. And I became a teacher, which is way more flexible than just a normal job in a company, let's say. And I have a good deal at my work. If I have a tour coming up, yeah, then it's possible, and we can talk about that, and then no problems for my other job, let's say, and yeah, things are better now, and we do not do 80 shows anymore. I think we stick between 30 and 50 shows now, and my idea is that the older the boys get, the more shows I can do, and we can work towards that again. But this is a good start with the Dark Waters, and now with our new EP, Dance with the Devil, and then we yeah, start growing again, and go from to more shows step by step. So I was like, why not? And let's give it a try, because yeah, the Delain was still in my heart, actually. So yeah.
So were you invited back, basically?
Well, Martijn and I were always in touch. When he was on tour with other drummers, yeah, we always stayed in touch. We were always connected by WhatsApp or whatsoever, and yeah, it was never really a question that if something happened. Then yeah, I would like to come. We also talked about it when Ruben quit, but I was not ready yet back then, and that's when Joey came in. So that's basically what happened back then. But I was always connected somehow, and especially with Martijn. Also, he is also a son, the same age as my son, and we went on vacations together, and yeah, so it was an easy thing to do so.
So far, what's been your favorite album, Delain album, and why?
Wow, ooh, this is a difficult one. Well,
Thinking about the old Delain and the new lineup.
Yeah. I have really good memories on We Are the Others, because we went to Sweden for that album, and it was in the Atlantis studio in Stockholm where we did the drums. And that's the studio. It's owned by one of the ABBA guys, I guess. I think it's still one of them. But it's. I like studios. I like gear and all that. And then if you enter that kind of studio where they did their recordings also with, and so on and so on, that was like heaven for me. And the album was produced by Jacob Hellner, and he produced Rammstein albums. I guess Rise and Rise is by him, and some others. Great stuff. And so to work also with him. Actually, what I'm doing here now, he is a great fundamental in that, because I learned recording from him as well, and or some tricks. I don't use everything, because I have also my own taste, of course, but recording techniques of drums and acoustics and these things on the ceiling and all that. He has something to do with that, let's say, and so for that reason, yeah, I like that process a lot, and it was fun. We spent there quite a time in Stockholm. We had an apartment there for the time being, and so I rehearsed a lot the songs, and I remember that we rehearsed in the rehearsing room only the drums. The band was called Backyard Babies, if I'm correct, but also from there. And I had to rehearse for I think 2 weeks or so for all the songs, because we had this ABBA studio only for 2 days. Yeah, so we had 1 day of building up, sound check, and make a sound. And then in the evening, I remember in the evening after the sound check, we did Modern Machine. I played it twice, and that's it. And that's what you hear on the album. So, and all the other songs we did the next day. So,
Wow,
yeah,
amazing.
yeah, that was quite something. And yeah, yeah. So yeah, there was also another drummer involved, just as a backup. And yeah, it was really great. And great studio, great people, and yeah, for me it was really cool. So and Modern Machine, yeah, yeah, I remember we played it already live a bit, so that was for me easy peasy. It was sound check, okay, press record, and okay, Modern Machine. 10 minutes later, it was on, done. So that was really cool. Yeah.
And hopefully not as cold as in the UK.
No, no, it was fine there. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I can really
Otherwise,
remember.
recording in cold conditions wouldn't be much
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. That's also something. Yeah, you need to warm up a little bit, but also for your gear, because your gear will sound different at 5 degrees than at 25 degrees. Let's say.
Um,
Yeah.
right. I see. I see. And you said once that the next album should always be better than the previous one.
Yeah,
Do you still agree with
yeah.
that?
Well, yeah, I think you should aim for that. Yeah. But if it's a success, yeah, yeah, that's also up to the people, of course. But I think if you are starting to create a new album with a band or as a songwriter or any particular artist, let's say, then I think, or whatever you create, I think if you make a drawing and you make another one, it should be better than the last one. I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think then you also grow as in this
Sure.
case an artist.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So in this context, in the music context, what does better mean to you? What do you mean by musical
Um,
growth?
yeah, it depends what the goal is. I think better for Delain is sometimes like our EP now. We have two songs. Huh? For instance, "Dance with the Devil" is
Mhm.
pretty synthesizer based, and Delain is also you can also group Delain in the orchestral symphonic stuff, and now we are trying the synthesizer thing, and so yeah, in this case, yeah, you have two layers of better. You can also be better at the orchestral stuff, but you can also try something else and as an experiment, and then go from there. So I think better in this case is also be more creative and just try something out. What can work out really well, and that's yeah, it takes some guts maybe, but I think yeah, with these two new songs we knew it pretty well, or Martijn in this case with the songwriting, of course. So and then and yeah, and we did it live in the UK for the first time, and the audience responded really well to both songs. So
Great.
that's and
So,
and at that point for me during the live show how the audience respond to it you can measure the better or worse kind of thing. So but it was yeah better for sure as in yeah the audience react really well to the new songs. Wow.
right. Okay. So in case of Delain, you would say that this is the case. Every new album by Delain is better than the previous ones.
Well, you should aim for it. It's not
Yeah.
that every album is better than the previous one. I like a lot of songs spread on the whole catalog, let's say.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, if you start a process, yeah, well, maybe yeah, you should aim for it, and if yeah, and then you get everything out of you what's in you. And,
Right, right. I see. Okay. Speaking about such a diverse discography by Delain, let's speak about some collaborations.
yeah,
One of the first guests was Marko, who left Nightwish a few years ago,
yeah.
correct? What was it like to work with him?
Yeah, my first time was in 2009, I guess. My personal first time, when we did a show in a church in Zwolle. The Broerenkerk was, and Floor was there as well, by the way, and Marco. And that was, I think that was my first time with him live on stage, and that was awesome, of course. I just became the drummer of Delain, and 2 years later I'm there with Marco, who I had in my CD player for years back home. Yeah. So yeah, that was special. And the last time was in Switzerland, I think a year ago now.
Oh, okay.
Or a year and a half. I lost count, but we did a show in Switzerland at the Z7 Festival, and we were there. Marco with his band and Talia, she was the headliner, and it was also the first time they played together with each other again. And
Yeah.
and we played Your Body Is a Battleground there with him. So that was my last time for now, and maybe we will do it again. Who knows?
Yeah, why not? That'd be great. Yeah, I'm sure that the
Yeah,
audience will appreciate it.
yeah. It's always
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And you also had the former guitar player of Epica, Ad was his name. I'm just a bit afraid of mispronouncing the names.
Yeah, Ad, yeah. Oh, yeah, he was on the Lucidity album, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, a very long time ago.
Yeah, that's very long time ago. I think he did a couple of shows, but that's really it. I think that was 2006, 5 or 6, somewhere
Yeah.
there. I lost sight on him as well. To be honest, yeah.
He was a session member, right? You didn't perform together.
Now he was on Lucidity like Marco was as well, and Liv Christine and Sharon and George. And they were and Atten as well, and Arjen played drums on that album, the
Yeah, right.
current drummer of
Also,
Epica. So he's the drummer on Lucidity, on the album Lucidity, and I did the tours back then. So so Ad was he was a guest on Lucidity, and yeah, occasionally he did some shows with us back then as a guest when the opportunity was there.
right, right. Okay, let's speak about what you do when you don't have drumsticks in your hands.
Yeah,
You mentioned that you are a teacher. No, you
yeah.
mentioned that also to me earlier, but
Mhm.
would you like to talk about
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I did electrical engineering when I was younger. Besides the conservatory, actually, it was it was like it happened together. And
Mm,
I was interested in technical stuff as a kid. Wanted to know how things would work. I played with Legos a lot, all that kind of stuff, and I was quite okay with it. I was not really good at that school, but I did not do really anything, but it just happened that way, and I get my diplomas and all, and I found a job in it. So that's basically how it went. But it was all in my heart. It was always a plan B because I wanted to play drums and tour and studios, and
mm.
so yeah. But it's still there, and I can still pay the bills from it. Let's say, and yeah, and 4 years ago, also during the COVID years, that I was like, okay, my life as an employee with companies, it was not my cup of tea anymore. So I tried for a couple of months to do both. So I was at a company and a teacher, so I could make a choice. And then yeah, I made my decision pretty quick that I wanted to go for teacher life, let's say, and I do it part time. So I do both actually, and I like it to work with students and think of technical projects, and I also make some stuff for on stage, lightning stuff I made, and yeah, that's fun to do, and it's always handy when something is not working on tour, then I can try to fix it. with
That's right. Yes.
yeah, yeah,
Do
yeah.
your students know about you? Do they know that you're a drummer of a band?
Yeah, some do, but yeah, some do not or do not care about it. They just want to get the diploma, and doesn't matter who is in front of class, let's say. But some are, and some comes to the show. Sometimes it depends. It's well, at the start of a school year, and I have to introduce myself. I do explain what I do besides being a teacher, and I show some picture on the screen, and then
Oh, that's
and
cool.
so yeah, but I keep it short, let's say, because they come for something else there.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah,
Wow, cool, cool.
yeah.
You also mentioned Lego.
Yeah, yeah. I have a weak spot for that stuff. I have, my two kids and me. I use my two kids as an excuse. I actually love it as well. Yeah, I got into Star Wars lately, and they have, yeah, very cool Lego sets, the UCS sets, and yeah, I'm a big fan. And a couple of years ago, I started to build my old Legos again with my kids as well, and they are all now on a shelf upstairs in my house. And sometimes they play with it, and then I see myself playing with it with the set. Yeah, so it's fun. Yeah, I'm lucky. My kids like it as well, but I don't deny I like it as well. Yeah.
Well, I bet that your Lego is a bit more challenging than your kids' Lego.
Yeah, now we are working on the Razor Crest. UCS Razor Crest is it's like this. It's big,
Oh, wow.
and we do it with the three of us. I'm there as well, and then if they do 10 pages, and yeah, the instructions is like this thick. But after 10 pages, yeah, we quit again, and then we move along a couple of days later. It's yeah, so it's something you can put aside, and yeah, every now and then we sit on it and try to make that. So yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. So, do you always manage to combine both teaching and touring? Because I bet you need to ask for so many days off when you go on
Yeah,
tour.
when we have a tour, in most cases, I know about it a year up front, so that's no problem. If you communicate as well and you plan your stuff really really efficient, then everything is okay. And yeah, I until now I did not have a problem with it, and I have great colleagues at my teacher job, and we all help each other. And sometimes yeah, it's also vice versa. Yeah, it's really give and take, let's say. And but those tours, yeah, it's kind of part of the deal. Yeah, they are short here in teachers here in Holland, so yeah, that also helps me. It's not cool for society, of course, but for me it works out really well. So yeah, and then it's doable.
Yeah, as long as it's doable, right?
Yeah, and you plan it really well and really on time. So yeah, really a
Mhm.
year up front in most cases. And I also like to aim on more things. So I have Delain as my main thing. Yeah, I tour with Delain and do all the recordings and so on. But yeah, lately I recorded for Nemesis, for instance, again, and every now and then a Leah album. So I don't want to be that narrow-minded. Let's say it's also refreshing to do more stuff, I guess. And it's also for Ludo as well. He's more bands that he plays in, and it's I think for the same reason. So, yeah, so we all have multiple things we are working on.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you mentioned that everybody in the band is responsible for something, and you guys are very busy. And even if you put, let's say, the same amount of effort, there is that thing such as discrimination towards drummers, let's say.
Well, yeah. I don't know.
Uh,
We are always in the back, and but I don't know. For me personally, it's also okay, because yeah, a lot of attention. Or I don't know. I'm an introvert guy, and I like to be involved in building the stage during the day, because I cannot sit still. And so that's why I still build my own drum kit. But and then after the show, yeah, to be honest, I'm done with the day, let's say, and then be in the spotlights, and
mm,
I don't know. It's yeah, it's also not really my cup of tea, to be honest. But
okay. So you're okay being in the back, just doing
yeah,
your job.
yeah, I think the role is huge. If I quit drumming, then everybody would, what? Then but if I just continue, and it's yeah, and then yeah, the role is big enough, I think, and that for me it's fine. Yeah, if you leave it out, then everybody will notice, and I'm safe behind my drums and so on, and yeah, I don't have to say anything to microphones. No, I'm okay behind the drum kit, and yeah, so and somehow people at the front of the stage, yeah, they have the attention, and I think that's also as it should be.
It
Yeah,
should be so. Okay,
yeah.
okay. I know you guys have something exciting coming up, the North
Aha.
American tour.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Correct. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, are you excited?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we go twice. Huh? We go at the 70,000 tons of metal cruise, end of January. So first we have two shows here in Holland. Then we go to Miami to the cruise. Then I fly back, and then I do stuff here. And then in March, indeed, we go to the US again. My second time there, our second tour, I have to say, with Delain. Yeah, of course, I'm very excited. We have lots of things coming up, cool shows. Ticket sales are going really well. And we do VIPs, almost all shows. I think all shows actually. So yeah, it's gonna be a busy month, but really worth
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I'm looking forward. Yeah.
Yeah, great, great. Well, you've already toured so many places.
Yeah.
Can you
Uh,
recall maybe, I don't want to say the best, but a particular experience
well,
among the
that was the
countries?
70,000 tons of metal in 2013, if I'm correct. I did it once before, and I have really great memories of that. And we did the photo shoot of the interlude album there. And yeah, in two shows. That was one of my best memories, and the other memory and it's also way back in 2007, if I'm correct, the Lowlands Festival here in Holland. We did the Grols tent, it was called, and it was packed, and I was doing the shows that was going on here. Lots of people with the old lineup, with Rob, Ronald, Charlotte, Martijn, me, and yeah, that was pretty impressive for me. That was actually the first really big show I've ever done. So that's also a good memory, and my guest appearance on the Paradiso DVD. But when I was out, it was in 2016, if I'm correct. So that was also a great memory to be back for one night.
Yeah.
The whole
Right.
circus. Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
We go towards the dark, in our full blindness, pretending the dark clouds on the horizon will turn away. Will we stay on mad course toward this imminent storm? Or we go in silence?
It's the last video chat this year, and let's wish something to our viewers before the winter break.
For the okay. Yeah, I wish everyone a warm winter. Because I'm not really a winter person. I'm more a summer guy, and because then I feel that I have way more energy in summer than in winter, and I wish that everybody always have the same energy. Always I have in summer.
You will have what? Sorry?
Everybody has the same energy always, what I have only in summer.
In summer.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
yeah.
guess it's the opposite for me. I get incredibly exhausted in summer.
Yeah, I don't know. It's cold and rainy and all that, and snow is.
In
Yeah,
Holland.
yeah. The snow here is not snow, in Holland. That's never the case.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's. I want going outside and barbecue and so on.
I see. Right. Well, any plans for the Christmas break?
Well, with my kids, yes, I don't know. Let's just see some friends, and not really plans. So, yeah,
Right.
let's see.
Okay. Well, Sander, thank you so much for your time once
Yeah.
again. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Likewise, and yeah, we'll see you later.
See ya.
Okay,
See ya.
bye bye.